Welcome back to Death from Above, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Let's do some 9th edition. Alright, we've got some Necrons thrown down against some Blood Angels. We've got the new point system. We've got 1,000,000 command points going on. And we've got just a battle royale. So, I'm going to be heading up my Blood Angels. Jake's back to help me out again on the channel. Because here in Victoria, we are still quite locked down, so it's limited to the games that I can do. He's going to be heading off the Necrons. Necrons. Alright, let's go through the lists. I'll start off with the Blood Angels. So this is what I've gone through. I've been repainting things again. And this is what I've come up with for 9th edition at 1,500 points so far. So this is a battalion, so we'll be getting the 12 command points. So that's always good. Lots of command points means lots of stuff. Yeah. So let's go through it. So first off, we've got Mephiston, the Lord of Death. So he's got Shield of Sanguinius, the Quickening, and Wings of Sanguinius. Then next to him, we've got, I forgot what his name is. Sangria Ancient, with the Banner of Sacrifice. So that's my first relic there. He's got the Incarmine Sword, so he'll be doing his thing, flying around and making people feel no pain. We've got the Hammer Lord here. So we've got the Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, Jump Pack. This guy doesn't have any other upgrades because I'm just going to leave him like that because I don't want him to be the Warlord or anything like that because I just want to throw him into the fray and smash shit up. So the Warlord will actually be this guy, the Librarian Dreadnought. Now I'm giving him the Relic Biomantic Sarcophagus, so that'll cost me a command point, so I've already spent one there. And his Warlord trait will be Artisan of War, so his Power Swordy Dreadnought arm will be damage 4. And his powers will be the Quickening, and I think the other one's called, it might be Heat Lance, and then he's also got Smite. Well, they both have Smite. Alright, now troops in the battalion. We've got 1, 2, 3 5-man units of Intercessors, Auto Bolt Rifles, and Power Fist on the Sergeant. Then at the back here, I've repainted and rearmed these two, the twins. They're ready to go. So for 9th edition, they've got Furioso Fists and they've got Underslung Heavy Flamers. So I want to see how that goes because Furio, I wanted them to be the Claws, but they were a little bit expensive for the list. So they're Fists for this match. Because they got 2 of them, they re-roll hits in combat. And as I said, they've both got Heavy Flamers, which they'll be able to shoot with in combat. I just want to give these a test run. I've also painted up the other arm, so if this doesn't work out so well, we'll just move right along. Alright, next up I've added into the list, I've just painted this up, is Las Cannon Toting Predator. So I felt like the army needed some long range anti-tank punch, and this points wise now is cheaper than a Baal Predator arm this way. So I went for one of them, because it'll be able to move and fire now, so that's a really good thing. Alright, and then in support of that, we've got the anti-infantry. So we've got the Baal Predator here, it's got the Assault Cannons, Heavy Bolter, and Storm Bolter on top. So that's the 1,500 points. As I said, 1 command point spent on an extra relic. So we'll be coming in with 12 command points. This is the first redone list with the new point system for my Blood Angels. And so far the list looks like it's pretty well rounded. So we'll see how it goes this battle. Alright, let's move along to the Necrons. What's Jake running? So, we got same thing again, battalion. So he'll be getting 12 points, command points. He's got an Overlord here. He's going to take the Veil of Darkness and he's got a Void Sight. So that's the one that's like ×2 strength, AP4, flat 3 damage. So this guy can clobber some people in combat and disappear, reappear some people. Over here he's got the Cryptek. The Cryptek, it's called Immortal Pride. He's going to be the Warlord. So that way no one around this guy runs because I don't ever put this guy in combat or anything. He just sort of sits back and protects everyone. We didn't have the points for the Chronometron because it sort of got a bit tight. So they're the 2 HQs. For troops, he's got 2 10-man units of Mortals with the Gorse, Heavy Gorse Flayers. Then he's got at the back 1 20-man unit of Necron Warriors with Gorse Rifles, I think they're called. Then, I think these guys are fast attack. 3 Destroyers with the Gorse Cannons. And then also in Elites, we got a Triarch Stalker with the 2 heavy Gorse Cannons, or super heavy Gorse Cannons, a lot of Gorse. Then in heavy support, got 1, 2 Annihilation Barges, all Telsa. And then at the front, he's got the Transcendent Cetan. Now, for the Transcendent Cetan, he got up a pretty good roll. So, powers and things like that for this guy. So, he got Fractured Personality and Immune to Natural Law. So, that means he can cast 2 powers. And he's got a 3-up Invulnerable Save. And then the 2 powers are Anti-Matter Meteor and Cosmic Fire. So, they're all mortal wound dealing damage. And he fights pretty hard in combat. So, that is the 12 points. 1,500 points of Necrons taking on the 1,500 points of Blood Angels. These guys look substantially more Horde-like in the new edition, but we'll see how that pans out. We'll roll up a mission and we'll get back to yous. Alright guys, we've got a mission, we've got some deployment. Alright, so first things first, we'll go over the mission. As you can see in the front here, or in the centre, there's 2 tanks facing towards the Necron line. So, the name of this mission is Run Dry. The story is that the Imperial Guard were fighting off these hordes of Necrons, and these tanks have just ran out of ammo. All the men have been shot to shit, and the last 2 company commanders have jumped in to one of each of these tanks. Now each of these company commanders holds vital information, so the Necrons want to peel these tanks open and pull the brains out of these guys and put them in test tubes and be like, let's see what's in your brain. And these guys have just been called in from the battle barge above and come smashing down into the planet to stop the Necrons from getting these 2 tanks with their company commanders in them. Now each tank will be worth 3 command points. 3 victory points for whoever holds it in their command phase. So at the start of your command phase, you got to hold the tank, you get 3 points. Obviously troops supersede everything, but anything else can hold onto it as long as it's not interfered with by troops. Alright, so that's the mission. Obviously, the other things that we're going to add into it, just to keep it simple, because we are still learning, and this is our new go with the points. Obviously, we're just going to put First Strike in there and Slay the Warlord for both of us, just to make it quite simple. Alright, so we'll start with the Necron deployments over here. Jakey Boy's put an Annihilation Barge on the far right side, coming across. Big, giant unit of Necron warriors here. And they've got the Cryptek behind him, coming across behind this big building. We've got the Destroyers and the Transcendent Cetan. Down here we've got the Overlord. We've got the Triarch Stalker, 2 units of 10 warriors in front, and then on the other side another Annihilation Barge. So he's all on the table, all set up, and aim to go straight for that centre by the looks of things. Alright, we'll go over my deployment. So, first things first, on the right hand side, now that tanks can move and shoot, I've put them completely in cover, so that way even if you can see a tiny bit of the tank, it'll be obscured and it'll be a neg1 to hit, which is kind of handy this edition. I really like that. So they're over here ready to zip around here and support, take over this tank. Tanks defending tanks. Tanks for coming. Yeah, dad joke. Then over here we've got the 2 newly armed and painted dreadnoughts in front of their dreadnought commander. Up behind here we've got the banner and the captain, still measured out to be in range of these guys to give the feel no pain. So in here we've got 1 unit of intercessors, we've got Mephi, and then coming over here we've got the 2 more units of intercessors. Alright, so at this current turn the Necrons have first turn and they will be going first. So what will happen is they'll shoot the shit out of me, and whatever I'm left with, I'll retaliate. Alright, we'll get back to yous in a minute. Alright guys, it's the end of Necron turn 1, and they have seriously done some damage to me here in the first turn. I got my head kicked in a little bit by Jakey Boy here. So what did he do? So movement wise, this whole block has moved forward, nothing ran, just the 5 inches. These destroyers here jumped over, and the Cryptek positioned himself so that he's down in here, positioned himself so he's within 6 inches of everything to give that leadership bubble. this moved forward, and the Annihilation barges on each side jumped out and provided support. So what did they do? First things first, this Triax Stalker, this Tulsa Beam guy, and one unit of these blew away my first Furioso Dread. And then the Annihilation protocols from these guys and the back unit here finished off my other Furioso Dread. So the two freshly painted Furioso Dreads are down the shitter straight away. So didn't position them well, but maybe subconsciously I put them up front because they had a fresh paint job and I knew that they had to go. Then over here, combination of these guys and this Annihilation barge here shot over into here and killed two of the intercessors on this side. So at the end of the Necrons' first turn, they don't get any points for objectives, but they have positioned themselves on this one. So I kind of need to get rid of them. And then they've got first strike. So you got one victory point for killing a unit, and then he's positioned himself reasonably well to start taking hold of these things in his next. If I don't remove these things, he's going to start getting points. Alright, so we'll get on with the Blood Angel's turn and see if I can't retaliate. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel's turn 1. We did a little bit, but being down a couple of Furioso Dreads and some Marines, sort of crippled us a little bit. What do we do? So all of these guys, all the intercessors ran towards this. Jump pack guys here, jumped in. Mephiston moved over, and then he wings over here. And then these two have moved the full 12 to come up behind and support them. Psychic power wise, the Librarian Dread did Smite on the close unit and Blood Lance, which hit a few things, done a few mortal wounds. And then Mephiston put the shield on the Baal Predator because I thought with the Hoards that thing probably needs to be the most protected of my vehicles. Shooting wise, so all of these Marines that ran were hitting on 4s, and the Baal Predator finished off the 10-man unit. And then the las cannons and I think the Stormbolter and stuff shot over here, and we killed one destroyer and wounded one. So at the end of this, we've congregated on this objective, holding it, and we've got first strike. So like I said, losing to Furioso Dreads was quite a chunk. Needed them up in the front, but that was my bad. My bad, man. Alright, the game's not over, so we'll get on with it, and we'll have Necron turn 2 and see if they can't destroy my face. Alright guys, end of Necron turn 2. They hit back. It wasn't as successful as their first turn though, and I for one am happy. Let's go through what it's done. So, this unit and the Annihilation Barge shot into this Intercessor squad at the front and reduced it down to just the Sergeant. He passed his leadership because of the banner, so they're like leadership 9. The Trike Stalker and these guys using the destruction protocols, I think it's called, shot into the Baal Predator. Because I put the shield on, they only took 6 wounds off him, so he is reduced. He'll be hitting on 4s now, but took some serious heavy firepower and survived, which I'm super happy with. This unit here plus this Annihilation Barge shot over here, and they only managed to kill 2 of the Intercessors out of this squad. And then the Transcendent Cetan didn't do too well on his powers. He also did 1 mortal wound to assist on this unit. But then he ran in, and I heroically intervened in. He did all his attacks and he whiffed, and then the Smash Captain, we did what he does. He's like, you want to fight me, do you, boss? Smash! And then Cetan's dead. He didn't explode or anything, or whatever it is that he does. He just went like a big old fart, and away he goes. So that was a little bit of a victory on their turn, and I don't mind. So they did score points for holding this, 3 points, so they're on 4, and the Blood Angels are still on 1. But we'll go into Blood Angels turn 2 and see what happens, see if we can't fight back. Alright guys. Alright guys, end of Blood Angels 2, and I definitely turned it up and smashed through some stuff. So, first things first. This moved over here, and this guy stayed with him to give him the feel no pain, because this is the this is the objective, and it is important. So we've got the 2 tanks here as well. Then moving over here, there was some psychic powers cast. So Mephiston did Smite and the Quickening. The big boy did what did he do? He did Smite as well, and he also did the Blood Lance. That's it, Blood Lance. Combat wise, or shooting wise first, this Baal Predator shot over into here and killed 5 guys. All the bolt gun guys around, because it was the tactical doctrine, I used to fire in over here at the destroyers, softening them down to 1 guy. They actually got really good shots off. Then this Laspred shot across into here into this guy and only did 2 damage because of the quantum shielding. He got me good on that one. But that's Necrons for you. And then the assault, everything here charged in. Oh, sorry. The rest of the shooting as well with the smites and all that, that was in the Immortals that were here. So, you know, the Librarian Dreadnought, Mephiston shot into them, and then with the psychic powers, they killed like 5 of them. And then these Marines here ran in and finished them off. Mephiston ran into this Triarch Stalker that was here and did like 15 wounds on it, crushed it out. This guy attacked the Overlord, took 4 wounds off him, and then didn't do anything else. But then this guy here, he killed the last of the destroyers and then was able to consolidate over into here, and then I paid 3 command points for him to go again, and he finished off the Lord. Also, I spent a command point here to give this guy reroll 1s, because this guy was all the way over here, so he supported all these guys with the reroll 1s. And I also gave Mephiston the extra attacks with the I think it's called the Red Rage or something. So we did that as well. So an absolute ass kicking in combat here, really crushed out and cleared out this area, and also in doing so we got ourselves 3 points here. So we'll go on with the next Necron turn and we'll see what they can do. Alright, we'll get back to his. End of Necron turn 3, guys, and it wasn't looking good this turn. So first off, this thing swung around the back here, shot into here, killed 1 Primaris Marine and took a wound off another. And then all of this, everything here, shot into the Smash Captain, and his Storm Shield was just eating him up. They only did 1 wound on him, which is, that's looking real bad. So at the end of this turn, they did score another 3 victory points for this. So they are on 7 at this point, but it's not looking good. The Blood Angels took them battering at first, but then they've battered back and coming back better off the battering. Boo back, boo back, boo back, boo back. Alright, so we'll get on to Blood Angels turn 3, and they'll turn these Power Fists on and see if we can get some smacking down. Alright, I'll get back to you. Alright guys, end of Blood Angel turn 3. It's a massacre and the game has come to an end. So, what happened? Over here, these guys moved over a little bit. Las Cannon shot into the Annihilation Barges there, did nothing at all, but then these guys ran in. The sword did a couple of wounds, but then the thing that really finished it off was the Power Fist, because they get like 5 attacks. Got 4 through, and then obviously they wound on 2s, reroll on 1s. And because the Power Fist only does the D3 damage, it rolled a lot of 2s, and then obviously he couldn't roll 1s to get under that damage. So that smashed that. Then over here, this Baal Predator fired into the big unit of Necrons that was here, killed a bunch of them. Then the Librarian Dreadnought did Smite, then he did Blood Lance, and I think he killed another. He rolled it was 3, and then 5, yeah, killed 5. Then Mephiston, because it was +1, rolled an 11 for his Smite, or a 10, and it was like an 11 and got D6, killed another 4. Then he put the Quickening on himself. Then Mephiston and the Hammer Guy ran in. The Hammer Guy killed the Cryptek, and Mephiston sliced in half the other Annihilation Barge, and this guy ran in and single-handedly finished off the rest of the Warriors. So at the end of round 3, the Necrons were on 7 points, and the Blood Angels are on 8 points because they held this objective one more time in their command phase. And then obviously they got Warlord, which got him one more, just get him over the line. So that's the battle report. Jake's man of the match, he said, fuck the Necrons, jam it up your ass. I'm like, alright, fair enough. My man of the match, it's a hard pick. It's between these two, Mephiston and the Librarian Dreadnought. I feel if you're running Blood Angels, you should have one of these in your list. Doesn't matter which one. You don't have to have both. I just choose to have both because I like them. And this tank, but alright, the Baal Predator is really shining this edition. As I said last time, zipping around. And we didn't really get to see what the two Dreadnoughts did. But they just got painted, so that's what happens. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this, and another Blood Angels win for you fans out there, and we'll get back to you with another one.